Bahamas. The Bahamas have basically a 5 to 25% chance of seeing tropical storm force winds, and the Outer Banks about a 5% chance of seeing tropical storm force sustained winds. And you can see where the greatest likelihood of all is, well out to sea, about halfway between the Outer Banks and Bermuda later on Wednesday. The whole system moves on out to sea, and then we can put Bertha to bed. But you know what? We're going to have to turn our attention, I think, to the Pacific in not too many days, because look at all these circles out here. There's the coast of Mexico. We've got an Invest 97E. That may become a hurricane in a couple of days and get very close to Hawaii. We've got Hurricane Iselle. That's probably going to be weakening, but may in several days get close to Hawaii, and a couple of other systems out there, guys. The Pacific is lit up like a Christmas tree with tropical storm activity. That's not a good thing, but the Atlantic, fortunately for us, is relatively quiet. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Dr. Purcell. Pacific crazy right now. Hey, we got all kinds of technology to track storms like Bertha. Several of you have been helping us get a better look at it from the ground, and we thank you for that.
Yeah, nothing like ground truth, right? That's what we call it in weather. Well, let's take a look at some of the video that we've been getting, mostly through our Facebook page. Yeah, we're going to take a look at this one that comes in from J.D. Ramos, and this one is in Puerto Rico in San Juan. This is a 6-second loop, but you can see how stormy it looks out there, and the rain hitting the lens there, and also just very gray and very low clouds. One of the best uses of vines ever. Vine usually not used for smart things. Next video comes from St. Croix. This is part of the U.S. Virgin Islands, of course, and a good boat ride southeast of Puerto Rico to get there. You're looking at some windy conditions Bertha bringing to the Caribbean. Some gusts, 40 miles an hour or so, but that's not as big a threat as the rain has been so far. That's right. The rain and the flooding seems to be the biggest concern. Stacy, and I hope I'm saying this correct, Seamus Mulcair are on St. John, also in the U.S. Virgin Islands. They're a bit north of St. Croix, and, looks just kind of like a miserable day out. A good day to stay inside, take cover. And we were talking to the National Weather Service there, and they were saying tourists that are there, the best thing you can do is just stay put where you are so you're nice and safe. Yeah, and here's another video from same place, St. John. This is Jeremy Smith. A lot windier at the location he's saying. It looks like a product of elevation. You can see how awesome that deck would be normally. Oh, yeah. I hope he brought Trivia Pursuit, for this particular day. Well, if you're on vacation, just stay inside and take the day off. Let's go now to St. Thomas to see this video from Hector Cintron. This is on the island just east of where Jeremy, Stacy, and Seamus are staying. Now, it's some of the worst conditions that we've seen today from Bertha. You really see the heavier rain coming down there, and the wind as well, just whipping, just nasty conditions, and really no visibility at all there. No, not at all. And if you're in the Caribbean right now, we want to see your pictures and videos of Bertha. Post them to our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Weather Channel. We'd love to see them.
This time of year, you just need some fertilizer with weed control and a spreader to distribute it evenly. It's not rocket horticulture.
Oh, it's not rocket grilling either, right, guys?
Getting help at Ace is like going to your neighbor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
When I had my first migraine, I was lucky. That sounds crazy, I know, but my mom got migraines, so she knew this would help. Excedrin migraine starts to relieve my pain in 30 minutes, plus sensitivity to light, sound, even nausea. Excedrin migraine works.
From restoring damage in just one room to an entire building, turn to the cleanup team that's here in your community and here to help at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
Bridgestone's new Drive Guard tires are engineered to take a puncture and go up to 50 miles.
We can drive 50 miles on a flat, and you have an app that makes nails pop up?
Yep.
We could rule the world. But I've got carpool at 3, though, so
that time
we could, mess with the world.
Right out of there! You aren't even on the deck! I'm the captain of this boat. And I feel like whatever orders I give have been ignored. You're terminated. We will not be back next season.
Catch the season finale of Catching Hell, Sunday at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 92 degrees under partly cloudy skies. This afternoon, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 50%. tonight. Scattered showers or thunderstorms. Low 77. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Mondays, only the Weather Channel takes you this far. Inside a hurricane. Hurricane 360, premiering August 18th at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Okay, ladies, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Thank you. I got this.
Oh, no, I'll get it.
Let me get it. I don't want you to pay for this.
It's not happening, honey.
Let her get it. She got her safe driving bonus check from Allstate last week, and it's her treat.
What about a tip?
Oh, here's one. Get an Allstate agent.
Nice.
Switch today and get 2 safe driving bonus checks a year for driving safely, only from Allstate. Call 866-788-0900 now.
Here we go. Hold on, man. Is that a leak up there? That's a drip.
Okay.
Now that's a leak.
That is a leak.
And if you don't have Allstate Renters Insurance, game over.
Protect your valuables from things like water damage for as low as $4 a month when you add renter's insurance to your Allstate auto policy. Call 866-788-0900 now. And if you're a safe driver, you can save up to 45%.
Just a few more ways Allstate is changing car insurance for good.
Call an Allstate agent and get a quote now.
Welcome back, and of course we're keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Bertha, and I would tell you to take a look at San Juan, Puerto Rico, but you can't see much because the visibility is so bad. They've got the rain coming down and the wind as well. And here is our storm, as you can see here, rolling right across San Juan. So rain seems to be the biggest problem with this so far. Of course, we'll see how it plays out, but remember, there are mountains in Puerto Rico. There is also a rainforest in Puerto Rico, so we can see mudslides, and we have flash flood warnings that are up here. I'm probably not going to pronounce these correctly, so please forgive me, but Coamo, Jorandias, and Santa Isabel, you are under your flash flood warning until 4:30 p.m. And of course, that is going to be probably one of the biggest things that come out of this story is all of the rain coming down as we continue to watch our tropical storm. But of course, this is not the only thing that we are watching because there's also activity in the Pacific. So we're going to head over to Keith, and he has that.
Yeah, Kyle, there's a ton going on in the Pacific right now. Many storms lined up. This one is a Category 1 storm. Take a look at it on the enhanced satellite. Looks pretty strong, actually, particularly in the past 12 hours. You can see the eye has become more well-defined as it moves off to the north and west. So the forecast for Hurricane Isabella moving towards Hawaii. Now, this is Thursday morning, so we've got some time before that happens. But you've got a storm that'll be around 50 miles an hour. So by the time it gets into Hawaii, the concern will be much like Bertha, rain more than anything. So we'll see if it ends up scooting on the southern end of the island, but certainly it is something to be watching. And meanwhile, look at this thing out here. This is an enhanced satellite picture of a super typhoon Halan. This thing is a monster, winds 155 miles an hour. They've had a rough season out there, just continuing as it moves off to the west here. And again, that is a super typhoon as of this morning. Kyla?
All right, thank you, Keith. Well, this is forecast to be a weak El Nino year, and some have been asking, how could that setup play into the formation of storms like Bertha or Isabel? And for the answer, we turn to senior hurricane specialist Brian Norcross.
When we talk about El Nino, it's worth going back and looking at exactly what El Nino is and how we measure it. Turns out there's more than one way. First of all, El Nino is something that happens in these regions in the Pacific Ocean. There's South America, there we are up to the north. So there's a little region here that now is called Region 1 and 2, just off the coast of South America. And that's where El Nino was first noticed by Peruvian fishermen. They noticed that around Christmas time, sometimes the fish wouldn't bite because the water was warm, and they called it El Nino because El Nino means the Christ child in Spanish if you capitalize El Nino. So that's called 1 and 2. And then you have this big region now we call Region 3, and then on to the west of that you have a region called Region 4. Well, after a lot of research, it's been determined that the weather in the U.S. and across the Atlantic is most reflective of this combo region in the middle called El Nino 3.4 region. And the question is, how warm is the water water in that region. When it's extra warm, that's an El Nino if it's extra warm and persistently extra warm. So one of the things we can do is actually just measure the temperature of the water there, and that turns out to be kind of tricky to really get that right. The other way is a way that goes all the way back to the 19th century, and that's to measure the barometric pressure difference between Darwin, Australia, and Tahiti. And it turns out that when that pressure difference is big and negative here, the El Nino is very positive and the water is warm, and the other way around. So we can go all the way back and see the El Ninos happening by looking at that pressure difference between Darwin and Tahiti. And right now, the trend is for a little bit of warming in the El Nino category there. And as we look on to the forecast, the idea is now a weak El Nino into the fall. But as far as hurricanes go, the important thing is that a lot of busy hurricane seasons have had a weak El Nino. So it's not a definitive factor, but maybe a slight factor in terms of the hurricane forecast. That's it. Back to you.
All right, here's a live look at Puerto Rico, San Juan, specifically. Bertha, hanging around there.
We are going to keep an eye on it for you. We're going in depth on this storm with coverage you can only find here. We'll be right back.
In the nation, the safest feature in your car is you. Add Vanishing Deductible from Nationwide Insurance and get $100 off for every year of safe driving, which for you shouldn't be a problem. Just another way we put members first, because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Enjoy dinner with dancing. Make mealtime more memorable. And save up to $7 on select dry dog food. Plus, get a $5 coupon online at PetSmart.
Sometimes the best used car on the road is the one you're still using. Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Heartburn. Did someone say burn? Try Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. They work just as fast and are proven to taste better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
From residential to commercial, from large loss to emergency response. Whenever damage strikes, call on the cleanup team that's faster to any size disaster at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
Hershey's Miniatures. Choosing is half the fun. Because there's a little something delicious for everyone. Hershey's Miniatures. Choose your own delicious.
Hundreds of amateur astronomers gather at Cherry Springs to catch a glimpse of the stars in the Milky Way. They turn to the Weather Channel forecast to find clear skies and low humidity for the
When you run a business, you can't settle for slow. That's why I always choose the fastest intern, the fastest printer, the fastest lunch, Turkey Club, the fastest pencil sharpener, the fastest elevator, the fastest speed dial, the fastest office plan. So why wouldn't I choose the fastest Wi-Fi? I would.
Switch to Comcast Business Internet and get the fastest Wi-Fi included. Comcast Business, built for business.
As days go by, when will you realize that very little will change until you change it?
I am empowered.
Get connected to make a difference. Take the pledge. Text EMPOWER to 69866 or go to IamEmpowered.com. The National Urban League, celebrating 100 years.
Our way of saying thank you. Wild tiger numbers are at an all-time low. Please, help save them now.
Only the Weather Channel drops you into nature's deadliest predicaments and asks, so you think you'd survive? Oh my God! Premiering Sunday, August 10th at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 90 degrees under partly cloudy skies. This afternoon, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, scattered showers or thunderstorms. Low 77. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. It's time for your tropical update. I'm hurricane specialist Dr. Greg Postel, and we got the latest advisory from the Hurricane Center at 2 o'clock Eastern and showed essentially no change. It's a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm continuing to motor on its merry way toward the west-northwest at 22 miles per hour. That's Holland. And so it's not going to be long before it's gone from these islands and then onward from there toward parts of the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas. Let's watch on the satellite pictures what it looks like here. We see sort of a scattering of thunderstorm activity, not a really healthy satellite presentation right now. In fact, the biggest of all thunderstorms are sitting right over Puerto Rico. In fact, the highest terrain is right around there, and they're getting some big rains. You can see on the visible satellite shot, all those bright whites. Those are some pretty tall thunderstorms there. And I do want to point out that out here, you start to see some thunderstorms blow up and then collapse. And they breathe. They're going up and down. That's a sign that dry air is in the vicinity, and it's getting into those thunderstorms and weakening them. Because the dry air gets into the storms, it creates these downdrafts, and you get this downward and outward flowing air. You can see that. The gust front's very well defined out here. The air is a little bit cooler and flowing outward in that direction, kind of like a skater, an ice skater. Instead of pulling their arms in to spin up, they're extending their arms outward to slow down. So this is a process which does not typically intensify tropical systems, and in fact does the reverse. So we're looking at an unhealthy tropical system right now, but it is still producing a lot of rain. Look at the scope of the rainfall right in there. Huge, huge swaths of rain with lots of big-time accumulation rates. I'm sure of that. And actually some sustained winds that are 31 miles per hour still at St. Thomas. You know, earlier today, we had a buoy just south of St. Thomas reported sustained wind of about 40 and a wind gust of about 75 miles per hour. So there are some big winds lurking offshore in the marine environment, but on land, in the land stations, the winds obviously are quite a bit reduced from that. But look at what's going on here in western Puerto Rico. You see this right here? There looks like to be a swirl right in here. We're at about 12,000 feet above the ground. When we're looking at that swirl in the radar returns, the radar beam is up here at about 12,000 feet. So you get to see a mid-level swirl right in here, but I think the surface circulation is a little bit farther to the east. The upper level vortex got hung back a little bit over the higher terrain, I think, over Puerto Rico. And we're seeing some flash flood warnings in place right now for Juana Diaz and Santa Isabel counties. And I would not be surprised that with the higher terrain here to see some mudslides and landslides. Unfortunately, this rain is coming down entirely too fast for them to deal with that effectively. We have tropical storm warnings out for the areas shaded in orange, going all the way up to the Turks and Caicos. And we have tropical storm watches now for the central Bahamas. That gives you an idea of where it's going to go. This steering is pretty well defined for us. I mean, there's really been no uncertainty, or relatively little uncertainty in the forecast track with Bertha. It's being steered by a subtropical high over the Atlantic at lower levels, and the storm is not very strong, so it's a low-level flow that it's going to carry it along, and you can see that the models are relatively tightly clustered around this idea of a hard right turn in about 36 hours. probably east of the Bahamas and then going northeastward from there. Let's model it out, and I can show you where the center of the circulation goes by, we think, Sunday evening. There it is, east of the Bahamas, with the bad weather, or most of it anyway, on the right or east side of the circulation. And you can see it's going out to sea. It's on its way out by Monday night and early Tuesday. There may be some rain along the Carolina coast, guys, but that's not really directly related to Bertha. There's an old frontal zone that's moving in that's going to get kind of tangled up with it a little bit. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Postel. He's going all Chaz Michaels talking about figure skating out there in the arms. I like that.
Fancy.
Yeah, hey, let's take a look at some of the pictures from Bertha coming in from Twitter. This is the first one from South Central Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and you can see this one was sent in by Alisem Rivera, and it's Coamo, Puerto Rico, and obviously they have very little visibility there. It looks like the clouds have lowered almost to the ground, and that's what we're dealing with. We're going to be dealing with rain, wind, and just unpleasant stormy weather.
Yeah, a ton of rain there. And let's go to Martinique for this beautiful picture from Jeremy Edouard. I think
wow, even in stormy weather, that is pretty. Stunning photograph.
It's still pretty. And you know, also of note that we like to get your Twitter pictures here, and Twitter's better for things other than just taking selfies. You can give us some actual information every once in a while. It'd be
Absolutely.
great.
And we really do love to get your pictures. We want to make sure you stay safe, though, if you're going to be out there taking them. We certainly don't want anyone to get hurt. Hey, we've got more to tell you about.
Yeah, we're going to do one more here, then we're going to come back every time there's an advisory and give you a half-hour show on that. See ya.
Sometimes you just know when you've hit a home run. That's how I feel about Blue Emu Pain Relief Spray. Odorless and fast-acting, it soothes all my muscle aches and pains. And it's convenient for those hard-to-reach places. And if you're like me, you'll love Blue Emu Super Strength Cream. It's made with real emu oil. It's non-greasy. It's a deep penetrating formula that works itself down into your joints. Take it from me, it works fast and you won't stink. Blue Emu, it works for me, it'll work for you.
Blue Emu. It works fast, and you won't stink.
I'm a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
I am a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
Pro painters count on Scotch Blue. Now with advanced Edge-Lock paint line protector for even sharper paint lines.
I am a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
Scotch Blue Painter's Tape.
Do you remember the hassle of vacuuming before the Dyson Digital Motor? Before it gave the DC59 motorhead powerful suction and perfect balance in your hand for cleaning those difficult-to-reach places? And before our direct drive cleaner head increased brush bar power by 75%, DC59 Motorhead outcleans the 5 best-selling full-size vacuums across carpets and hard floors without the hassle of a cord.
Man, these cheesy bread dogs are incredible.
Real good.
The cheese is baked right into the bun.
You know, in this case, it really is what's on the outside that counts.
Maybe that phrase, it's what's on the inside that counts, isn't true.
I mean, I've only been judging books by their covers.
Really?
I only read the cover.
Oh, you don't read what's inside?
No. I could read 2, 3 covers. Cover to cover. Cover and cover.
Count on the cheesy goodness of the new cheesy bread dogs. They're the perfect match for any of our 25 shakes. This is how you Sonic.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that words really can hurt you?
What?
Jesse, don't go! Jesse, no!
I'm sorry, Daisy, but I'm a loner, and a loner's gotta be alone.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Jesse?
Mom, can we get these, can we?
Sure, throw them in.
Mom, can we get these, please?
Why not?
Well, aren't you being generous? Well, it's 5 or 8 box tops, so their school earns even more money.
Wow. Throw it in. I don't think you got enough.
I'll go get some more.
Only Walmart offers 5 or 8 box tops to help you get a smarter start to school. Unbeatable prices, backed by AdMatch. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Right out of there! You weren't even on the deck! I'm the captain of this boat. And I feel like whatever orders I give have been ignored. You're terminated. We will not be back next season.
Catch this season finale of Catching Hell, Sunday at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 90 degrees under partly cloudy skies. this afternoon. Scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, scattered showers or thunderstorms. Low 77. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weather Channel drops you into nature's deadliest predicaments and asks, so you think you'd survive? Oh my God! Premiering Sunday, August 10th at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Hi there, everyone. Another live look at Tropical Storm Bertha as it turns across the Caribbean, now over Puerto Rico. You can see it's about 150 miles east-southeast of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Winds about 50 miles per hour. We've got some rain coming down with this, too. You can see the pressure not bad, 1,009 millibars, and it is moving 22 miles per hour. This is all of the rain that this is generating in Puerto Rico, so they are concerned about flooding. In fact, we do have a flash flood warning to tell you about. You can see this is on the south side of the island to the east of Ponce, Coamo, Santa Isabel, and Villalba. You are under this flash flood warning until 4:30 p.m. And this is the path that we expect it to take as it continues its track across the Caribbean. And you can see here as you take a look at it, by Sunday morning making its way north, and you can see by about Monday morning, looking at the overnight hours into Monday, into the Bahamas, and it does look like it's going to stay away from the coast. So that would be some great news, and that's certainly what we're hoping for. We are going to be staying here all throughout the day as the different advisories come out from the National Hurricane Center. We will bring you that information, and we also have a 5 o'clock show, a 5 p.m. scheduled for you.
Well, we're just going to run this deck winch to the back of the trailer and back.
Need you to hold them cables up so I can back up.
Take the hook with us. Okay.
The entire rig, all 3 parts, must be rolled upright in one move without shattering the china tops.
I'll do the lead if you want to catch up, okay?
Okay, yeah.
There you go. Go. Nice. That went really good, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm happy with this.
Yeah, lucky that it boomed down.
Both fiberglass tops survived the flip. But now there's a new hurdle.
He's gonna drag it up out.
Yeah, he's gonna
suck the bobcat, cut it down a bit, or
pulling the cab up over the steep embankment could damage the diesel tanks.
The truck's low profile, so they don't want their tanks scraped. And maybe it's gonna be a little tough. That's always a tough spot, isn't it? Why don't I come in here and I lift this front end up and over for you?
Okay, so what, you want to have 2 trucks on it then, or 1 truck?
Yeah, you just stay there with you. You stay 2, right? You pull, and I'll lift it up at the same time as you're pulling, and I'll come with you, right? So I'll keep the front end in the air so we're not dragging it. Okay. And we'll try to get it in just up in here. I'm gonna back up a little bit and I'm gonna cut her over here, okay?
Repositioning the trucks means closing both lanes of traffic.
Nobody, I just got all the traffic plugged, so go ahead. Okay, thank you.
Now every minute counts. Eager to get the job done quickly, Jamie rigs his lines directly onto Adam's chains. It's not textbook, but it's fast.
Jamie hooked to my same chains to lift the truck up so it would clear, and I was going to pull at the same time. It was kind of a hokey deal.
I don't like this. This isn't stupid.
Adam doesn't like it that there's 2 pull points on the same chain. He doesn't think it's safe.
This is sketchy, man.
No. Tell him to stop.
As Jamie swings his boom, it edges closer to the rotator's new light tower.
Stop. I gotta put the light tower down.
Look around, man. Holy. Let's put the thing down, we can pull it out.
I'm gonna swing back this way a bit, okay?
Get your cables off and just pull the thing out.
You don't think it'll drag the fuel tanks, though?
Nah. Wow.
The lineup of traffic is quite long.
Okay, tell them go ahead. We gotta hurry, though. These guys are gonna get pissed at us.